Hello, and welcome to Hope For Felons podcast, where we discuss felons and everything in between. Your host for this show is Douglas Van Vliet. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, and welcome back to Hope For Felons podcast. It's good to have you on the show today. We have a lot to talk about, but there's just two main subjects I want to cover today, and that will be a success story that I want to give you. I think it's very, very cool, and a little bit about what we're doing here at Hope for Felons, and a little bit about myself as well. As you know, this is Douglas Van Vliet coming to you on podcast, and I'm the founder of Hope for Felons, and we have been trying to change lives as much as possible. When an offender is released from prison, we try to help them as much as possible to find jobs, housing, and we also have a large resource list that you can find on our website at hopeforfelons.com. We have been updating the website. We've been doing a lot of work. And also you can look at our sister site as well, which is hopenews.org. So if you want to, you can also look at that. That's our news update. That's usually what I do. I've been posting a lot of stuff about recent events in our area, stuff that's happened that's in our area. But I believe I will be doing a little tweaking on that here soon. But let's get back to the success story. As you know, we have had a gentleman on the show that has been at the halfway house. I'd probably, I think we've been hearing him probably for the last 4 or 5 months. He has been doing very well. He's actually was released from prison to the halfway house, and we sent him a packet with hygiene, everything that he needed to start with. We basically sent to him, and he found a job within a week of him being there. And then we've been trying to work with him with housing, but housing has been a challenge for us. We do what we can do, but there's a thing that's called the Second Chance Act. Well, a lot of people don't know this, and to be honest with you, I've been working in reentry for a little while now, and I've heard about the Second Chance Act, but I never really understood what it done. But a person that's coming out of prison can actually get this fund as emergency release fund. And the person that has to do the paperwork is your probation officer. They're the ones that have to do the assessment and send in the paperwork for the money to be allocated. This is normally for housing, for offenders that's coming out of prison or the halfway house, being on probation. The Second Chance Act will give the offender normally enough money for a motel for a few weeks to get them on their feet, so that way they don't have to be struggling. Because I know that the average hotel is about $50 a night. So it's pretty expensive just to stay at a little motel. And that's one with, most of the time, you don't get no refrigerator, you don't get nothing. So, and I just wanted to bring that to your attention because, I know that it's hard out there, but one thing you have to take into consideration also, if you want to apply for the Second Chance Act, you cannot do it until the day that you are released onto probation. So that first time you see the probation officer, if you don't have a place to stay, you can get them to do the paperwork at that time. So, what I'm trying to say is there's always hope for a felon. There really is. I mean, it's going to be tough. Nothing in this world is easy. But if you put your mind to it, you can do what you put in your mind to do. It may take a little while to get where you want to be, but you will get there. I was fortunate enough when I was released that I could come back home with my mom because my father passed away. So I was able to come back home and live with my mom, and it has been such a blessing, and for her to be able to see the change in me. And that's one thing I want to talk a little bit about as well, as when you're coming out of prison, you have to want to change your life. You're not going to be able to come out here and do and act the same way as you did before. Lying, doing this, doing that you're not supposed to do. You cannot do that. It's no longer an option. So, I want to say that you can do it. You can definitely do it. A little bit about what we are doing here at Hope for Felons. We have been uh, having the phone ringing off the hook, and I'm so glad. I want to help as many people as I can, but the major issue, as we were talking about before, is a lot of people that's calling is wanting housing. And housing is a very, very hard thing to find. And I would suggest, after talking to a lot of other reentry coordinators, I find that everybody pretty much agrees and says the same exact thing, that when their offender comes out of prison that they're helping and they have a job, the first thing they like to do is try to establish them to save their money and to be able to get their driver's license and a vehicle. That's the first thing. Some people say, why? Well, the problem is that if you don't get transportation, and especially if you live in these little small towns, then the chances of you being able to get housing is going to be very slim to none. You say, why you say that? Well, if you have your own transportation, then you'll be able to go outside of the city limits and find a mobile home or a house in the country, and most of the time they will not do a background check and they will let you rent from them. So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I really think that, being able to go out into the country, you might not want to live in the country, but to start out with, that's the best option that I can give anybody, is going out and finding a place in the country. That seems to be the best. Now, one of the things that I have mentioned, that on our website at www.hopeforfelons.com. You'll be able to see our resource list. Our resource list has information in every state. We're constantly trying to update the website because I know that even during COVID, there's been a lot of places that have closed down. There's some places that was added. So, one of our biggest things is to stay afloat as well. And if you actually want to donate to us, there's a place on our website where you can use the Cash App and donate funds to Hope for Felons. And all your proceeds go to keeping the doors open, keeping the phone line open. That's what it basically does, and keeps the internet and the website going as well. Because we send out hygiene packets, and people that are aware of our Operation Backpack, if you know of a person that is in prison and that's being released, let us know and we'll reach out to them and see if they need a care packet. Because really, once they are released from prison to the halfway house, they still will need hygiene. And they will have to have money and funds to get that. And if they don't, then you know what? They need help from us. So that's what we're here for, is to be able to help these offenders that are being released from prison. Well, that's enough of rambling for today, but I'm going to give you our phone number. Our phone number is 854 900 HOPE, HOPE, or it would be 854 900 4673. And you can give us a call at any time. And when the answering service comes on, press 1, and then you'll be redirected to a reentry coordinator. Or you can email us at info@hopeforfelons.com. And we will definitely get back to you. And we also have, if you go online on our website, we do have the availability for you to chat with us live on the website. So you have a bunch of forms of communication to get in touch with us, and we will help you in any way we can. Thank you for listening, and there is hope for a felon.